What's up, YouTube? Devon Diggity here, and today I just want to talk about how I prepare for big tournaments or what I did to prepare for Nats. Um, so the first thing we have here is, well, first of all, as you know, I did play in the One Piece National Championships. I finished 7-3 over the 10 rounds, getting me 361st. I was sad about that last round because had potential to go 8-3, and then I guess I heard that I was guaranteed top 128, but unfortunately, last round got cut. It is what it is. Still came home top 512, so I was pretty happy with that finish, especially for it being only my second big tournament. But I just wanted to go into my preparation for that tournament, my thought process, and hopefully maybe inspire some of you guys and compare how you guys prepare for big tournaments. So the first thing we have here is my spreadsheet. When I was playing on the sim, every single game that I played, I recorded the matchup. So these are the decks I'm playing in the first column, the opponent, and then my record of wins and losses, because of course you play against some of the same decks, of course, when you're playing the sim, so you can keep track record of that. Just so I could see with what deck I'm playing, what my worst matchup was, what I felt most comfortable playing into, and as you can see, really the most games I played was with Purple Luffy and Blue Croc. I was playing both of those a lot. And then right down here, I had the total amount of games I played on the sim. It might be one day, I think, maybe one day I didn't keep track. Just because it was right before, I think it was like the day before we left. I was just playing games here and there, so I wasn't really recording those. But for the most part, it is pretty accurate with the total amount of games I played on the sim leading up to Nats. So that was the first thing I did. And in my situation, I did not go to any locals leading up to Nats, which it could be pretty crazy. But all the locals near me were like an hour drive. It's like an hour and a half, depending on traffic, to get to locals for me. Especially at that time, it was before I had more flexibility in my schedule. So I wasn't really able to make it to any locals. So really, the only practice I did get was on the sim. Um, of course, that is can be good. It can not be good because of course it is good to go and play with the actual cards. There's just a different feel to actually playing with the cards, making sure you're doing the interactions right, attaching all your stuff. But luckily, I've played a bunch of card games. Like I've played Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, all sorts of different stuff. So I was used to being able to like shuffle and the setup and playing. And I had played a couple games. I played in one big tournament before. So I was used to like how the game works, how it flows. Setting up, actually playing with the cards. So that wasn't too much of a problem with me. But it is recommended. Maybe go to locals or try and get people on Discord. Discord's a big resource to play test against or play webcam matches, so you can actually like feel yourself playing with the cards, because it does make a difference. It can help you with simple mistakes of that kind of stuff. So that's always a good practice as well. But for me, I didn't really get to do that, and because a lot of my friends don't really play One Piece like heavily, and my one friend that really does, he was prepping for Digimon Nats, so he was just testing Digimon every day, so I didn't really get to rely on him. Looking back, I probably should have used Discord more as a resource, because there is a bunch of Discord servers you could join to play test, and people are always trying to play games. So looking back, that's probably something I would change, is go on Discord more and actually start play testing more with people like webcam. And maybe trying to find some people in person to play test with as well. The next thing I did, of course, is the sim. So, of course, all my decks a lot of them are changed for OPO6, but for Purple Luffy, of course, I net deck some decks just to see the list, try it out, get a feel for it, and make adjustments according to my style and how I like to play the list, and all that good stuff. So net decking can always be a good place to start, because someone's performed well, done well with it, the list works. But then you can always tweak it and cater to how you play. Maybe play more aggressive, maybe play more safe. You can always tweak the list to fit your play style the best. So that was another good way. and of course, like just analyzing what you think you need, what you don't. This is Purple Leaf. I've been testing for the in EBO1 and OP6 just for fun. That video might be coming out soon, but this was just the list I was playing, and it was pretty close. I mean, it honestly is basically the same list I played in Nats, just a few ratios tweaked, and of course, none of the Mr. 2. But yeah, another thing that really helped was when you're playing on the sim, don't mindlessly just play. Don't just go on autopilot. I find myself doing that sometimes, and that's when I would get up and take a break because, yes, you're playing, you're still getting those reps, but I feel like you're not learning as much. And for me, at least, I found the best way to honestly prepare was to commentate what I was doing. Like, even if I wasn't recording or anything, I would just sit there and be like, all right, this is my hand. This is what I'm thinking. This is what they could have. And basically just narrate to myself, like, different lines of play that I could take, what I thought my opponent was going to do. And I felt like that was a really good way to catch some of my mistakes, especially once I said it. And if I did the play and then it happened bad, I was like, okay, this is why I should have done this. And that's always a really good thing too, is to question why something didn't go your way and what you could have done different. And I know it is kind of hard, but you can save the logs of your game and like go back through and like read through it and see. But I know a lot of the time it is easier if you just screen record your gameplay and watch it back, even if you're not going to upload it or anything, just so you can see what you did and really go back into some of your games. I found that in really close matches, whether I won or I lost, it was good to go back and look at that footage to analyze and see like what was the key turning points of the game for me or my opponent and what could have been done differently in those situations. So that I feel like that's another good way to practice. Another thing I did not do, but I am considering for the future, is getting coaching. I know that has been a pretty hot topic right now in a lot of different TCGs of if you should get coaching, is it worth it? And my opinion on it is I really just feel like it depends on you and what you think you can get out of it. I know there are some more expensive options, some cheaper options, some in the middle. You just got to find whatever works best for your situation. And the thing with coaching is you're not locked in, right? You can pay for one session. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it again. Or some coaches I know in some TCGs and stuff do give like free trials or sample just to talk and see if you guys will work well together, like their coaching style. What do you think of it? Will it work for you and all that good stuff? So that is an option to look at too. You just got to do your research on there. So I have and considered definitely getting coaching. I didn't do it for Nats. Because scheduling, I was just really busy leading up to Nats, so that didn't really work for me. But leading into the future, I'm heavily considering, maybe paying for a session here or there and seeing if anything comes out of it. Because why not, right? Might as well try any way to get better. I had my next point. What was my next point? Coaching. And asking questions, guys. So that is my next point, is asking questions. So if you're stuck on a matchup or something's just not, like, you're just not getting something, don't be afraid to, like, go on a Discord and ask. Just ask people, or on Twitter if you're scrolling and you see someone, like, post their deck list, they're playing the same deck you play, like, feel free to just drop a comment, you don't have to be mean if they don't answer you. I mean, at least you tried, but, I had several people answer me on Twitter when I was just scrolling the posted list. I was like, hey, what did you think about this ratio of this card? Or what do you think about this play against this matchup? And I got some really insightful answers back. And don't be afraid to ask, because the worst they could do is just not answer or, just give you a crappy reply. But I mean, at the end of the day, at least you're trying to get information, right? You're actively trying to get better. And that's all you can really ask of yourself. And the final way of preparation, of course, guys, is watching videos, consuming content. I would just watch One Piece videos all day. Well, not really all day, but the day before I left for Nats, I remember just watching One Piece content like all day. There's so many creators out there, so many insightful channels that have just gameplay, commentary, specific card interactions. Like, there's so much out there and resources for you guys to look at. to just consume content and like watch the plays they make with specific decks, and that really came up in handy, especially playing Purple Luffy. Watching a lot of content, it really showed me how to rely on Magellan more than what I was, because I felt like for a while whenever I was playing, I would always just try and go get Kid out so then my Magellan was free. But I found a lot of the time it was way better just drop Magellan as early as possible and just go. You know, like don't worry about the Dawn curve, and learning which matchups to go first and second for specifically as well was also another really good tip I found from watching a lot of videos. Was actually with Purple Luffy, you want to go second a lot of the time, so then you can turn two just drop a 5 cost, like drop your Magellan, drop your Kid, drop a Queen, and I found that really useful and really insightful. And I felt like it really helped me in my preparation for the tournament. And of course, it's gonna be good to know all the decks in the meta. Maybe play a few games with them on the sim. Just so you like kind of realize what they're trying to do, and like it'll help you beat a deck if you know how to play it, if that makes sense. With Sakazuki and Enel specifically, I remember playing those decks. Not crazy amount of games, but just a few, just to see how their combos worked, what kind of sample hands they could go with. And, you know, if I ever played against a Purple Luffy, it helped me because I was like, okay, what is my opponent going to do against me? And what could I do differently to try and win the matchup? So that is going to be it for this video. Those are all the ways I prepared for Nats. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, like really helps me out. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you who subscribes and helps grow the channel. Until next time, YouTube, we'll see you later.